Alright, it's time to talk Disney again, and this time we're going to Florida, back to Magic Kingdom, as we will be doing every land in the park for this video, and see what may come for the 50th or may not come for the 50th. Which, the 50th anniversary is coming, quick and fast, and it's going to be here in 2021. So what could we see for it? Well, first off, we could see a brand new parade come to it, as a new nighttime parade is easily what we need for the 50th anniversary, as Magic Kingdom really hasn't had one in forever, and in my opinion, they definitely should get one for the 50th. We could also see a new theater, because we did see one announced at D23 in 2017, but then we never saw it happen again, and it kind of just got put to the back burner of everything, and it just didn't happen. Let's just go with that. But they could just revive it and bring it back, because they were about to start it, and then they cut budgets. Then on to the big update for the land everybody's expecting is Tomorrowland. As if you really aren't familiar with the Tomorrowland update and the Tron coaster coming to Tomorrowland, then you're a little behind, as it is coming to the Magic Kingdom, and it's going to be the exact copy that Shanghai Disneyland got, which happens to be the fastest ride at any Disney park worldwide. So we could see it turn down a notch at Magic Kingdom, but let's hope that doesn't happen. Also, they had one of those vehicles out on display at D23, and it was all lit up. So this is really going to be one super fun speeding ride above Tomorrowland, and especially riding one of these. We also got a good look at the cast member costumes, which were also on display at D23, and they were really in sync with the ride's colors and really do look pretty sharp. Now if we look at the construction, as we got steelwork for the attraction show building that is going up fast, and it's really not that far beyond the wall, but it really is starting to move closer and closer to where we can see it. Also, the steel structure is now covering a bigger part of the track, and you can see where it's moving out over the center of the track. Then some parts of the show elements for the coaster are the power rings, which straddle parts of the track and light up as riders go through them, and one of them has been spotted already in the middle of the track, and it's like covered with this green tarp and everything. Also, from the Shanghai coaster, the G-forces on it are really amazing, and it's going to be a strong ride and fun as crap as you blaze around the curves at 60 miles per hour. Then we've got Stitch in Tomorrowland, as at this point we don't technically know what we're going to do with it, as it did somewhat close on January 6th in 2018, but rumors indicate that a Wreck-It Ralph attraction is already in development for the space, as well that the first pre-show room is currently used for a Stitch meet and greet for the time being. But I'm going to speculate on what other attractions may come, but it seems like it's Wreck-It Ralph. But it could also be Incredibles, because what's better than Edna Road designing a super suit for Jack Jack while on a show/ride experience, and it's Edna Mode. It would be so much fun to watch her work, and Jack Jack's prowess going crazy, of course, with his laser eyes, teleporting fire, whatever you can name, and of course it'd be narrated by Edna, and there'd be Jack Jack animatronic. This whole ride experience would just be a fun thrill. Then we got Big Hero 6, which surprisingly hasn't been featured at the Magic Kingdom at all, or any of the Walt Disney World parks, as he really is a very popular character. So why aren't we just giving him the ride he deserves already? As giving him his own attraction would just add to the star power, and Big Hero 6 just fits Tomorrowland so well due to its technology and futuristic themes. Then of course, the ride we think is coming there is Wreck-It Ralph, and it's easily the top contender, as it has been the most rumored to replace it, even though it is getting or has a VR experience at the Void. That really doesn't mean it's not going to come, and more than likely we already know it's kind of coming. Even though like the retro video game theme doesn't fit that well in Tomorrowland, but neither does Monsters Inc. So, oh well. At least we're getting a good ride. Or at least we hope. It's just Wreck-It Ralph fixed the action criteria that is needed for Tomorrowland, you could say. And that's why it is considered the top contender for the Switch replacement. And if you attach video game style controllers to every guest seat, and with these controllers, guests could somehow be able to interact with the role in the show. And given that Ralph and his friends are, for the most part, video game characters, this really does make some sense. I'm sure Disney could figure out how to make this work. We just don't know how they could make it work, but they could figure it out. It's Disney. They somehow did Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, and it's really fun. And so, if you add it up, it really doesn't seem as outrageous as it sounds. And it could work out that they are more interactive and mostly screen-based offerings popping up. And if all goes according to plan, apparently the Wreck-It Ralph attraction coming to Tomorrowland will be on our way in 2022. And then we have our Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. As I think if the Disney Plus show could really decide what happens to the ride. As if it does well, they could try to redo it and just make it something different, add more characters that people know, not just random characters that we don't really know, or the character from Monster University that some of us don't care as much about. Plus, you can add some better jokes and switch up the shows, like you're switching up your ride experience. Because the same shows does get boring time and time again. Or if we see the show flop, we could just see something brand new. Like The Incredibles at the Mode Show, as this would be a great element for this area. As you already have the whole screen setup that Edna-Mode could really use too. And it could work really well. And it really would be nice to see just a complete new ride here as well. But I don't think they have room for a complete interactive ride / show element, so it probably just end up being a show. Then on to Adventureland, where I think is the place Indiana Jones should go. We want him, and we want him bad. And if it went here, I think it would fit best. Plus, we could build it as a coaster, and actually make the coaster good, not like Disneyland Paris is. Make it like it was supposed to be, and make it different a bit. And this would really round out the coasters that you have in the park. Especially if you made it a little bit more mid-tier, maybe a little more thrilling. And it'd just be perfect addition. And we really do need something in Adventureland with everything going over to Tomorrowland at the moment. Also, we heard rumors of a Tiki Room update, Moana themed. It's not going to happen more than likely, as Disney completely just shot that down. We also could see Frontierland have something come to it, but an expansion here is less than likely. There's a little tiny space around the Big Thunder Mountain, but if we want a big expansion, I say we take out the island and remove some of the water, maybe leave like a little creek, but they are pretty landlocked here in Frontierland. But it is one of the better lands, in my opinion. Then Country Bear Jamboree in there could get replaced, but Disney shot that one down too. So we don't know what's happening or what is going on. Then on to Fantasyland, where we could just see some simple rides come out instead of another big expansion like New Fantasyland. But I say we all prefer a bigger expansion to happen, as it has a lot of room to work with. So there are some possibilities for expansion, but we'll start off with a ride that I think every Disney park should eventually get. I think Disney should really copy what Japan did and put the Beauty and the Beast dark ride in. That looks absolutely amazing. Disney needs to copy this ride and just put it all throughout their parks. And you can easily put this right behind the Beast's Castle in Magic Kingdom. But some other themed lands we could see come is Frozen, but more than likely not Frozen, because it is going to Paris, plus we already have a Frozen ride at Epcot. We don't need a whole land of Frozen. Maybe Moana could come here, even though it fits better in Adventureland, but she could just get her own land, but it wouldn't be possible in Adventureland, in my opinion. But if she does get her own land, it probably would more than likely be Fantasyland, where she could have a boat ride, and the ride could take you on bigger drops, like you're riding the ocean, but not as big as Splash Mountain, like a beginner Splash Mountain, kind of like. As also, they could do a show to go with this edition as well. As another ride that will start you before Splash Mountain would be a good addition for the park, and plus they need another ride that gets you somewhat wet at least. Plus they could make this a water coaster, which would be pretty fun in my opinion. Then you could also have a pretty decent stage show to go along with it, which could easily tell the story of Moana pretty well, as her movie kind of does the same thing. Then the other theme land that could happen is the Villains area. So you had the Disney Villains After Hour event, which looked really fun, and I really think it was a test run to see what they could do next with our precious villains, which could be in our theme park, but there really isn't enough there for that. So let's make this into the land instead, and get like a dark Sleeping Beauty castle, but now it's Maleficent's, and you can make it so maybe there's only one entrance, maybe add another entrance in the future, kind of like Galaxy's Edge is doing, where people are now then are entering a different place, and like you could do like a crossover from the entrance, make sure little kids know it's scary, it's not really for them if they get scared by it, and like kind of like a warning to the kids so they don't want to go in there. And like you can make it dark with dim lights. It'd be pretty cool too. I really don't think a kid would want to go through that. Plus you can make it like a Cable Wonders entrance, which would be really cool to see. But who knows? If they do the land, it would have a couple of rides, a show, and probably some walk-around characters. But more than likely, this is really just a fantasy of mine. So, that's all I know about from rumors and everything else that could possibly come to the Magic Kingdom for the 50th and beyond. So, what do you guys think? And do you really think any of these could possibly happen? Or do you have an idea of your own? If so, leave a comment down below of what you think. Also, if you have a suggestion for a new video I can make as well, leave a comment down below for that. Thanks for watching, everybody. And of course, make sure you're weaving through every day just like it's your last.